Hi, Smuggy Bear here. Today we've got an unboxing of 3 games for the Sega Saturn, and they are Tactics Formula, The Convenience 2, and Outlaws of the Lost Dynasty. The latter is also known under several names because they had a name change during the West, but we will start with a game and we'll unbox the rest. Okay, here we go. We have the convenience store simulation game called the Conveni 2 in English, but I'm guessing it's supposed to mean the convenience 2. Right. The front cover is sun faded. The obi strip still has a bit of colour here, and also around the top where there various designs of the Lucky Cat charm, you know, the ones that usually has swings its arm around, which is interesting. And here we have the back, which is more the Lucky Cats. The game is kind of like a Sims type of game, you know, like a simulation building game, but instead of building cities and stuff, you're building chains of shops. The game is made by Human Entertainment and Masterpiece Co. The game is still sealed. The obi strip on the back's in good condition. Here's the name of it, the Conveni 2, and here's the name of it in Japanese, I should say. We're going to see if we can get this. Sorry about this. There we go. There that goes. It's time to go. There we go. Okay. I know other people usually like use knives and stuff, but okay. Here's the obi strip. A reasonable condition. Here's a bit of the manual / front cover, which was covered by the obi strip, so it still has a bit of colour, but as you can see there is a bit of sun fading in it. Okay, and here we have the game disc, which also has the cat designs of the Lucky Cat charm. Has the logo. That's the thing. We'll open that. Oh look, the disc spindles are actually in good condition, and the disc is actually in good condition. Well, it's in pristine condition because no one hasn't actually played it. Just bear with me a second, so we can get the manual and stuff out. Just bear with me. There we go. Sorry if the camera works a bit iffy, but I'm literally doing this on my phone, and unboxing stuff one-handed is a bit crazy. So here we have the manual. Looks right, you know, it has a picture of a convenience store, more does cat charms and stuff. The text is in Japanese. Shows you the controls for the Saturn pad, which is interesting. Screenshots, you know. Looks interesting. Yeah, also the graphical style in the second game is slightly different, where it has a more isometric 3D perspective, while the first game, which I also have, was more of a 2D overhead view, you know, like with flat pixels. So it's interesting, you know. It's Yeah, it's just, I'm guessing this would be an interesting game if it had a translation, like proper like English translation. Because I mean, and I usually the Saturn has some interesting games and stuff, but they're mainly relegated to Japan only because of the way the politics was during the time. Between Sega, different departments of Sega, the infighting and all that stuff. But everyone knows that history and all that stuff. But I think, there's a ton of games out there. Lots of games. That I think people in the West would have enjoyed if they had a chance to play. A chance to release. And here we have the original registration card. Which is interesting. And here's the back, which probably has the do's and don'ts for what to do with the CD and stuff. And here's the back cover, which is the cat charm. That's the unboxing of the convenience store too. We'll move on to unboxing the next game, which is Tactics Formula. So bear with me. Hi, Smuggy Bear again. Thanks for sticking with the video. This is Tactics Formula, which is it's a racing game, but instead of actually racing, it's played out as more of a board game. A board tactical game, which is interesting. The front cover is sun faded. The obi strip on the front is sun faded. It's made in conjunction with Sega and Aki. Now it has a picture of like a few card pieces and stuff. If we move on to the back cover, the obi strips there. We have some screenshots of the game. Sorry for the lighting; it's a bit bright out. We will. Here's the side, Tactics Formula. And on the back, the side, it's in Japanese. Here we go. We'll open here. The 3 games that I'm unboxing have literally turned up a few days ago from Japan. And depending on, and I think these were the ones which spent 3 months at least on a very slow boat from Japan. But it's interesting, but also it's kind of interesting how you can still get like games new and sealed. And now a lot of people are gonna hate me like for opening these up. The thing is right, there we go. Games are meant to be played, not sitting on a shelf like in a fucking water graded plastic coffin, on a shelf doing nothing, while the poor bastard who's paid for the grading, paid for the game, probably paid for it overpriced, just letting it just languish there like a video game version of a zombie, man, because it's not doing anything. It's slowly degrading because it's in said water graded box, and no one's enjoying it, which then in turn drives the price up of other games because if everyone's hoarding the games up, it's like no one else is going to get a chance to play it physically. But then again, on the flip side, emulation stuff. But I digress. So here we have Tactics Formula again. It says a tactical board game. Sorry for the mini rant, but we shall continue. So here we have the disc. It says Tactics Formula in black. It has Sega and Aki, made in Japan. I'm guessing that's a picture of the F1 car. Well, F1 style car. And we'll show you the disc. That disc's in pretty good condition, because when I say pretty good condition, I mean it's perfect, man. because hasn't been touched, hasn't been played. No sign of disc rot, no scratches, which is surprising, being that how long it was on the boat and like in transit and stuff. So we've taken the manual out. So there's the game. As with the Convenience 2 and some other games I've unboxed, it has some fading. The side of the manual / front cover it still has some colour left in it, even though it's starting to fade at the top. Right. So we open. Oh, the manual has some nice colour to it. Text is in Japanese. It has a control layout. Like I said, it plays differently because it's more of a board game type of thing where you have to move your piece in turns, but also you have to make sure you have your right tires, set up and all that stuff. And if you're passing opponents and taking corners and stuff, you have to actually plan your moves, because if you decide to push it, you have the risk of crashing, which unfortunately makes you lose a turn, and you face like penalties and stuff. It has different game modes like World GP, multiplayer. You can edit your team, in cars and stuff, and it has that option mode. And here it has the World GP where it says beginner or normal for game level. Your team entry where you can edit the team info like names and all that stuff. Also, it has qualifying sessions like with real F1. So I'm guessing if to play the game, you have to do the qualifying session, which will in turn, figure out where you start on the game board and the game proper, sort of. Your machine setting, then also final, which is the actual race itself. Now it has multiplayer. I think you can have up to 4 people, I think. As players, race type, bonus points if you want qualifiers, different weather settings. You can drift, crashes, and like how many rounds you want, or it goes into more detail here. Courses, etc. So the picture of on the cars in the game. That's interesting. Also, it has stuff like the beginner level, which shows like how fast your cars are and all that stuff, but also different grades of car. Now, this also shows you like how it actually works, like on the racetrack, where you can move to the different spots like using button presses, but you also have to calculate like going through corners, like your speed, your turns and stuff, but also you have to do something similar while passing cars, and then you have a chance of crashing or spinning out. It's interesting, because I've got it because of I saw some videos online and thought, oh, this looks interesting, and then when I checked on the Japanese sites, it's literally going for, this one was literally going for pennies. So I thought, what, I'll give it a try. Some more of the manual. Just probably going over more, like it's explained slipstream and, passing, etc. Then it just shows you like, what happens with the accident and crashes and stuff, in the turn. Then like you'll also have to pit in at times. So yeah, it's interesting. Here's like the different racetracks or courses, like Spain, Canada, France, Great Britain, Germany, Hungary, Belgium, Italy, Portugal, Japan. Then you have like your A rank, B rank teams, which probably have. Now, basically, you have different ranks of teams, and basically the rank depends on how powerful the cars are. But usually, if you have a high power car and all that stuff, it means it's it's more, it's trickier to play. Here's a registration card. Again, the manuals and stuff actually do smell fresh, because usually like old games and all that stuff, they do smell musky. That has been Tactics Formula, and stay tuned while we do the final game of this free game unboxing, which is Outlaws of the Lost Dynasty, which is also based off the Chinese novel, The Water Margin, which is interesting. Hi again, we're here with the game that's based off The Water Margin, ancient Chinese novel, which is one of the important ones, like Journey to the West and like Red Cliff and all that stuff. The Romance of the Three Kingdoms sort of thing. Here we have the front cover, which is some faded, but it's slightly some faded, like the Obi strips faded, but you can still see like the design of like the character and the tiger and the Japanese text on there, but you can see like the slight nuances in the design. This is by Data East, and it's basically a Saturn port of their arcade game, which is a fighting game, weirdly. Here's the back of the OB, which it hasn't been sun faded. Here's the back cover. We have some characters in the game, and we have some screenshots. Now, there was an updated version of this which was released not long after, which had some changes and some like other features thrown in, which is actually a good game. But this one actually got the Western release. So here we have, it says in the English text, Outlaws of the Lost Dynasty, which was actually that was the original name in the arcade in the West. And then when it got ported over in like later versions, I think it got called Dark Legend. And here we have it in the Japanese, which is sun faded. So I just pull this. There we go. Yeah, now some people, it's like, oh, Smuggy, why are you buying all these like old games and all that stuff? And it's like, oh, you're not gonna play them, but I do. Because the thing is, it's like some people think, I just like certain games and all that stuff, but then, like with some other ones, I just have some really like obtuse choices now and again. Like sometimes, like fighting games. Other times, it's like simulation games and racing games and action platformers and all that stuff. Oh, it looks like, I think that had a bit of tape on there. But I like all sorts, man. But also I like, like the crazy, like weird, games that people kind of shrug off. I kind of like as well. So we leave the OB strip there. Like I said, the side of the manual there is, hasn't been sun faded too much, and it's actually a bit better. So here we have the game disc. Has some nice art to it. Like, it has an intimidating man on there. It says Data East, and like the info for it says 1995. The black and red kind of contrast like the silvery color of the disc. We can see the back of the manual there, which is probably telling you how to take care of the CD. Here we have the disc. It's another one that's in good condition. No disc rot, no scratches, which is surprising. The disc spindles are in really great condition. because I know usually they're the first things to go, especially like during international travel. And weirdly, always seems to happen when I had the protective packaging, all that stuff. Just bear with me a second, because I've just literally caught the one side of the manual under the clips. So we've taken the manual out, and as you can see, like, I guess with the sun faded, it's actually shown more of the designs of the front, because you got like the bamboo leaves kind of thing, like in the background, and like little sketching type of thing for like cliffs and trees and like the ground and stuff, which is interesting. So here we go. First things first, we have the registration card, which is in unused condition. It has stuff about the CD and Saturn memory. Has a weird character for the Saturn project team, which is interesting. I'm guessing that's for whoever ported it over to Saturn. That has more exposition about the water margin type of thing, where I'm guessing there was a band of 108 criminals that was fighting the Emperor and all that stuff, from what I can tell from memory, and they were very skilled and had like special abilities and all that stuff. So yeah, we have screenshots of like the arcade and special mode, guessing character selection, some more modes and controls, options, data save and stuff in said options. And here we have character bios, moves, and that has some nice screenshots. But yeah, I played the updated version. That one's actually pretty good, but also I know that one usually goes for a bit more than the first one, but depending on where you get either of them, the prices seem to be jacked, which also seems to be a common problem with buying retro games and stuff, because it seems like basically like YouTubers and like quotes celebrities in like the retro scene and all that stuff always make videos about it, and it always seems to cause a rush on certain games, which causes prices to surge and all that stuff, and then half the times the games that they mention are a bit rubbish. Sorry about that. No, I'm trying not to rant all the time, but I just can't seem to help it. Yeah, but we got some characters, like diverse ones. We got this one who has a big weapon, which is interesting. Then you got this guy who looks like he uses a stand like it's a JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, which is interesting. Oh. Then we got this guy who uses tonfas. Then we got this guy that uses fireballs to attack. Is it fireball or like water? It's interesting. Got a creepy looking fish dude. Yeah, so it's just all the characters. I'm guessing this guy is the final boss, because he looks like it. He looks sketchy, man. And then also to say that there's a screenshot of him like powered up as well. And then I'm guessing it just has more stuff to do about the moves and stuff, and like weapon system. It's just interesting. Then we already mentioned the back of the manual. So that has been Outlaws of the Lost Dynasty, and also the other two games, which were the Convenience 2 and Tactics Formula. I hope you enjoyed these unboxings. And I hope you enjoy the videos on my channel. Hope you have a nice day, and I'll catch you soon. Bye.